Hello guys, what's up? This is Murtaza. Welcome back to a Coder's Journey. In this new episode, I have decided to create for our refactoring techniques in C# playlist. If you haven't already subscribed, please make sure you do so that you do not miss out any of my videos. So let's get cracking, right? So the refactoring technique that I have decided to talk about in this episode is called Decompose conditional. And let me give you the code. This is the code we have here, right? So you see here, we've got this method called calculate charge that takes in, several parameters: date, time, integer, double, double, and double. First off, we can apply a refactoring technique on these, parameters in order to reduce them. I'm not going to talk about that one in this video, probably in another episode. And then I have this logic, right? So the method itself is not too long, but the code is a little bit, difficult to understand at first glance, because not only there are, several parameters, but also the logic, this conditional logic, seems to be a little bit, complex. So we are creating this charge variable, right? And then we are checking the date, whether it is smaller than a constant value, and then whether it is bigger, and then we are, in this case, we are going to, calculate charge using this simple calculation. Of course, in one of the previous videos, I talked about the refactoring technique called replace with query, replace temporary variable with query. Of course, we can apply this one here, right? So we can encapsulate this probably reusable calculation into its separate method, and we can do the same thing for this one. But the reason I have decided to create this video is not that replace temp with query. It's something else. Now, in order for me to decompose this conditional to make it, easier to understand, I am going to introduce a couple of other methods. So remember, always strive for more granular methods. So methods that are simpler, easier to understand. And if the number of your methods, in a, for example, class are higher, but they are easier to understand, that's the way you want to go, right? So here I am going to paste in the methods I talked about. First off, I am decomposing this conditional, right? This into this method. The name is very descriptive, is not summer, so it takes in one single parameter, date, and then it returns a true or false value, whether this date falls in summer or not. Then I have applied replace temporary with query method refactoring, which we already talked about, right? So I have encapsulated that, calculation in a separate method, as you can see here. And then I am, introducing this new method. I have done the same thing for the other calculation as well. Right now, these are all, simpler methods. They are reusable. They have descriptive names, which, makes the understanding of the overall code easier. And then I am going to reuse them, right? So let me change the name to refactored. And then, as you can see here, instead of, for example, this vague condition, I am going to kind of call that, method, separate method that I have declared here. The name is very descriptive. Then for the calculation, I have applied replace temp with query method, and I have given these two methods very descriptive names. So the first one, just compare this one, right, with this one. At first glance, looking at this code doesn't tell you what is happening. So it doesn't tell you why I have decided to multiply these two and then add this value in order to calculate charge. But with a descriptive name, you can instantly notice that this method is responsible for calculating charge for winter time. And then I have a similar method for summertime. And then I am returning the charge. So in this particular example, I can say that two refactoring techniques are being applied. The first one is this decompose conditional, and the second one is replace temp with query method. And this video is about this section, right? This conditional statement. Prior to our refactoring, the conditional was a little bit, difficult to understand. And just imagine a couple of other conditions combined with and or here. Of course, it becomes, complex and difficult to understand. So I'm going to decompose that, and I'm going to, introduce a new method. I'm going to come up with a very descriptive name, and then I'm going to encapsulate this into the body of this method. This helps me to reach reusability and also a much cleaner code. And then I'm going to use this method here. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. That is all for now. If you enjoyed it, please make sure you subscribe. That really helps me and the channel. Share it with a friend and give it a thumbs up, right? Stay tuned for the next video. Bye-bye.